Another big game, as I was saying, another big game for the weekend. This is a match between Master and Apprentice, Arsenal versus Manchester City. This match, there's been a whole lot of mixed feelings in previous games, but I don't think it's it's a big game, but I don't think it's matched up to the way we used to expect it to be. Because I think in the past few games, Arsenal have had an edge. I think in the last 4 games, Arsenal has won two with 2 draws against Manchester City. And going into this game, Arsenal has only lost 1 game in his last 5 matches. And Manchester City has also lost two in the out of the 5 matches. But looking at the performance for Arsenal, I think they have the opportunity to win this game and try to put in a performance to be able to compete for the league. They need this game to compete or chase Liverpool because at the rate at which Liverpool is playing, winning, doing comebacks from games, I think they will have to win every single match to actually match or compete with Liverpool for the league. They've been a second place team for too long. They need to get over the mountain or the hump to actually win the title. I feel like they need to do that to be able to prove to themselves that they've made um, progress from significant investment in the past years. I think they actually need this win, this season's Premier League win, or at least a trophy, to actually prove to themselves that they are actually one of the teams to compete for every single trophy. I think one mistake Arteta is doing is he wants to win a major trophy for us now. I think winning something, either an FA Cup or if you are competing in the Europa, winning the Europa or something would have given a boost to the players in the team to actually have a feel of how winning a trophy is. Then they can compete for the big. They can actually compete for the big trophies because looking at Tottenham Hotspurs with their win, you can see there's a dynamic change in the way they play games ever since they won the Europa. You could see the performance against PSG and the start of the season. And they have the same point as their London rivals, as Arsenal. They've also lost only 1 game. So I believe Arsenal needs to get over that blockade that they've been second and they almost there to win the league. I think they need to get past that block. They can't be caretakers of the league. They cannot be doing caretaking of the league for so long. They need to get over it. Arsenal needs to try their best and get over it by winning this game because looking at their team and squad depth, if injuries, if the injuries are not too much in the team, I think they should compete. They should compete with everybody in this league. You understand? They should compete with everybody in this league and win every single match to be able to win their because they have the team. They have the depth. Unlike last season when Saka got injured, they were only left with Raheem Sterling who could actually do nothing. But this time they have Madueke who isn't as good as Saka, but is actually doing what he can do in that position. It's an improvement of Saka's replacement as compared to last season. So looking at their defensive structure, it's so I don't know. Arsenal's defense, I'm for this one, I'm going to say I am a little bit jealous of their defense because they have a very good defense. amongst all the teams in Europe. They have the best defense among all the teams in Europe. I don't know what is actually blocking them from moving uh, past that level. I think it is the is attacking that's their problem. Previously, the attacking that's their problem, and since they have actually revamped the attacking side, I don't think that should be a problem this year. They have depth that if the starting 11 is not performing or to be able to score goals, they have the options to bring in Martinelli, Trossard, and if Saka and the rest can, Madueke coming back from the bench would help them a lot. This Arsenal team is so good not to be competing or trying to win the Champions League or league. Everybody's expecting them to be the team that is going to play second every single time. And I think Arteta needs to start putting in the work, extra more work to get them there. I know he has surrounded himself with good assistant coaches, but I think they need to do more. They've actually done the work defensively and the midfield. They've actually done the work very well. I think it's left with attacking options where they will actually create more chances for Gyökeres to actually score more goals to help the team. Looking at Manchester City, the game against Napoli, because of the red card, I actually didn't see um, Manchester City being tested enough to say, okay, this is what we went through. That in case we meet another tough team and we are in a similar position, this is what you are supposed to do. With the game in the Champions League, Jeremy Doku, Foden, and Rodri were actually impressed me during the game, during the Champions League game. With Rodri, Foden, and Doku, they were very impressive. And with Foden having a back-to-back performance, same as Dokude having a back-to-back performance from the Manchester United game and the Napoli game, I hope this translates into a good performance against Arsenal. But I don't believe that will. I think Arsenal has an edge over them. I think Arsenal will win this game against Manchester City. Looking at players out on both sides, with Odegaard, Ben White, and Saka being doubtful, I wasn't expecting any of them to make a return. But if they make a return, there will be a very significant help coming from the bench, especially Odegaard. He has been in and out of the squad. With Manchester City's injury, Kovacic, Sheikh, Phillips, Mamouche, and Ryan, they've all been counted out, and I don't think they'll be making a return for the upcoming fixtures against Arsenal. I'm having issues with the pairing of Zubimendi and Declan Rice. I am actually not seeing it. And I know Zubimendi is the one that starts the game for Arsenal, but I'm not seeing it. The way I know Zubimendi to be playing, but it's just the it's just the beginning of this. It's just early. I think it is too early for me to judge him, but I believe he puts up the performance as the season goes through. And another signing I want to congratulate for having a good first two games is Donnarumma. Manchester City have actually struck gold with a shot stopper. They've actually struck gold